What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Martin, and today I'm taking a look at our client's car, an M140i manual. So really cool car, rear-wheel drive, B58 6-cylinder turbo and 6-speed manual. And of course the M140i is regarded being the best 1 Series ever, which it is, but it's not an M car. It really isn't. It does have some trouble, some problems, and the owner said he has sort of fixed it, so he's done a lot of mods. Let's have a look at what he did, and let's start with the engine. So the M140i came with 340 horsepower. This one though has been modified, so it has our Evolution M 200 cell downpipe with heat shielding. It has the TU fuel pump, so the Supra pump, and MHD stage 2 plus, so it should do around 470 horsepower, something like that. He has a silicon intake pipe, a resonator delete, ST XTA plus 3 suspension with camber plates. In the front we have 2.5 degrees of negative camber, and in the rear we have 2 degrees. It's got the M Performance limited slip diff, which actually makes a big difference. Rear subframe insert, solid shifter bush, solid transmission mount, and M3 control arms. The brakes have steel lines, Motul 660 brake fluid. It has track pads in the front and yellow stuff in the rear, and it's got the resonators deleted, so it also makes a proper sound. And we have Continental Sport Contact 7s, proper tire, really good, 245 in the rear, 235 in the front, and some upgraded brake discs. They look like they're from an M2 in the front, that is. Now let's see what it's like to drive. Now, as you might know, I've owned 2 F20s, an M135i and an M140i. So I'm quite familiar with them. I've driven, I think, like 30 M140i's with different setups, but I've always had the same complaints. It always feels to me like handling wise, it is far from an M car. You cannot compare this to an M2 in terms of handling, and I don't know why, but the F20 always feels like the chassis is made out of rubber bands or something like that. There's just such a rubbery feel to the whole car, especially if you have the manual, because the manual is quite bad. It's a 6 at best, so let's see if he has improved on that. Also quite rubbery and not all that nice to properly shift with. Going to turn off ESC like that. So as I said, I've owned an M140i, and I wanted it to be like a 4-door M2, which was my mission for it, but it was just simply too expensive. I had to modify too many parts in order to achieve that, so I decided to sell it, and then I bought the M3 E92. It's just quite a bad base for a 2-track car, the M140i. There's just too much to replace, too much to upgrade, and eventually you end up with an M140i that costs 80k, something like that. It's totally ridiculous what you have to do to get it right, like properly M-worthy. So we have the suspension, we have the camber plates. Yes, it really helps it out a lot, but still, it's not an M car. We have that vague F-Series steering. The steering column of an F-Series is just not the greatest. They really improved on that with the G-Series. But the engine is just a piece of magic. The B58 is one of the greatest engine ever made. I do have to say that the B58.2 is a nicer engine. It's not just that bigger fuel pump, It's all little changes that make it a lot more, it runs more lightly than this. This really has that single turbo feel, like it has to sort of spool up, and it runs a bit heavy and heavier, I have to admit, heavier. I do really like the interior. These Alcantara seats are amazing. Big side bolsters that you can actually adjust, which isn't the case with much more expensive modern sports cars. So that's really good. As I said, we have MHD Stage 2 Plus, so you can fiddle around with transmission software and stuff like that. You can do no lift shift, you can do auto rev matching. You can also really do it by yourself, because the pedal setup is really nice for that. Heel and towing is no problem with this. Oh, that's nice. It has such a nice shove, this B58. It's just so much better than any 4-cylinder. And it's absolutely amazing that BMW gave us this car. But you can definitely tell it is a 6-cylinder 1 Series, and that's all it is. It's just a 1 Series with a big fat engine, and then they ran out of budget. So the owner did a lot of stuff, changing the bushings, changing the mounts to get that tight, sharp chassis, but it's better. It's way better than before, but it still has that rubbery feel to it. So I'm drawing the same conclusion here. You just need too many molds to really get this M-worthy. Turning is a lot better though, because of those camber plates. That's really nice. And of course it is a lot quicker with the MHD Stage 2 Plus, with the Evolution M200 cell downpipe and that TU pump. That's just 140 horsepower with slight modifications. So 100 to 200 stock, it's doing this, and now it's doing an 8.2. That's a really good result. It's a manual car, so it's properly quick. However, you do notice that at higher speeds, so like 240, 250, it becomes rubbery and floaty and not all that nice. Doesn't really have the brakes to match the speed and the power. But overall, it's just a very nice car. But the biggest threat with owning an M140i is that you want to keep upgrading it. At some point you're in far too deep, and you come to the conclusion that you should have bought an M2. The shift, it's now a lot more secure and tight. I'd say it's a 7 now, coming from a 6. So it's still no Honda, but it is a great little car. This one of the gems produced by BMW. And you really have to ask yourself the question, like, do you want the M2 with the with the lesser engine, so the M55, the OG M2, or this. I think they're sort of the same price. It remains a question of, do you want a very good handling car, which the M2 definitely is, or do you want this with the far better engine? Although the M55 does sound great. Oh, that's good. It does really need that M Performance limited slip diff. It makes it such a more fun car. Normally you get this one tire fire, slightly awkward little slide, and with this you can really feed it through the with your throttle input, so that's really nice. Okay, so thanks to the owner for letting me test drive his car. Really liked it. I'm really looking forward to what he's going to do with it in the future. For now, I want to thank you guys for watching the video. Go check out the playlist, check out this video, and please help us out by subscribing to the channel. Thanks guys, bye.